Hello, my name is Ashley Gerst. My project's title is Sundays. It is a short animated film, and I will be the director and animator for the film. So the story is about just a relationship between a daughter and a father as it goes through its many stages, from when she's very young to when she's a bit older, and then at the point where toward the end of the film the father passes away. So it's about grief and loss and the loss of a parent. It is directly a memoir from my life. I lost my father unexpectedly in 2019, so it's my film that I wanted to make as a love letter to our relationship and how I feel about having had him as a father, and what grief means as now it's been 4 years later, and where that takes us. So I hope it's something that other people that unfortunately, we all kind of expect that we will lose our parents one day if we haven't already. So I'm hoping that it is something that other people can relate to and also find their way, possibly through their own grief, if that is applicable to them as well. So I am honored to say that I won the production micro grant, and it is going to go toward helping me hire 2 artists to just help me with the film. I am doing the majority of the film on my own. I think, especially for a film of this topic, since it is a memoir and it's something that is incredibly close to me, I feel that I do need to put in the majority of the work, as opposed to hiring a team of animators like I have done in the past with other films. But I do want to hire a couple of people to help me with sound mixing, which is something that I don't really do. And also a cleanup animator to help me with those stages of the animation process. There's always something I'm going to miss, and it's nice to have someone else's eyes in the mix where they can, give me pointers and be helpful. So that's where this grant is going to be going to. And I'm also, in addition to being a member of the Pano Network, I'm also a member of Women in Animation's New York City chapter and a co-lead. So I'm hoping to work with the Pano Network and also our network at WIA to hopefully find these professionals to help me with this. I'm hoping to use both of these networks in an effort to find them. There's quite a significant amount. I will say I'm very fortunate in overall having a good experience within the animation world, but at the same time, there are not too many women. I almost exclusively end up working with men. That's not my choice. That is just who ends up being hired with me. So it's always a little lonely. There's a big boys club, everybody wants to go out and have drinks and or different things like that. And I'm just okay, I don't really feel like I belong in that sort of space, but I go and everybody's, very wonderful. But it is, from a industry perspective, now the number is, I want to say it's still 23% of the workforce within the animation industry is held by women animators. And then even then, that's usually entry level and maybe mid-level. There are fewer senior level or people in positions of managerial roles or lead animator roles. And so sometimes it can be incredibly lonely to be, especially when you are an independent artist and animator. There are just so few of us, and it's always really great to meet others that are also women, or people that identify as non-binary within the animation industry, because there are so few of us. So I'm originally from Cleveland. I moved here in 2009 to New York City, and I went to School of Visual Arts to get my master's. So that's what ultimately brought me here. While I love Cleveland, it's truly, I miss it greatly. But I will say is that there's just not a lot of animation work in Cleveland, and especially not character-based animation. So I knew that based on what I wanted to do, that I was going to have to find my way to California or LA, and just LA, San Francisco, California, or like New York, and that was going to be it. And so I ended up going the New York route, and I've been here now, oh my goodness, 14 years. Next month it will be 14 years that I've lived here, and I've loved every minute of it. I live upstate now. I'm in the Hudson Valley. So I moved a couple of years ago, and it's been a great experience being an animator here in New York overall. I also teach, so it's just been such an interesting, path, and I've really enjoyed it. And then I'm also, as an animator, I'm always trying to find new ways to approach the animation medium. So one of the things about this current film, I'm actually, now that I have a yard, I am growing a lot of dye materials, and I'm going to be turning them into watercolors and using them to watercolor the film that I'm making. And I hope that opens and unlocks other doors for me to continue pursuing things like that. Most of my films combined that I do personally, I have a couple others, but the most recent one that was complete is The Spirit Seam, and that was completed in 2019. I have another one that's in the works. That's a long one. It's going to be about 30 minutes long. It's called Being Pushed Down by Shadow, and I'm hoping to complete it in 2025. It's still in the pre-production stage. We've done storyboards so far, character designs and things like that, but that one is going to require a lot of physical sets that are going to be rather large. The characters go to large spaces like a department store. They also go to a theater at one point, and a hospital. So these are like really large buildings. A lot of my sets involve a lot of like stop motion based things. My film Sundays does not, though. It's strictly paper and watercolor. It's not going to utilize any 3D or even stop motion based environments of any kind. But typically I do sort of a stop motion set, photograph it, and then superimpose 3D or 2D characters. And so now that I have a little bit more space, I've really enjoyed like possibly, utilizing like watercolors and different things like that. And I'm really hoping that will continue with my future work. We'll see how this goes. I'm learning a lot of very new things. I've never made my own natural dyes and watercolors or anything like that. So far it's been going well, but I'm always, learning and looking for improvement, and I'm hoping to see that in continued work. Thank you so much. It is really an honor to receive this grant, and I am, really happy to be a part of this network. And it's truly a magnificent thing to have this for women, and especially women in New York. It is such an uplifting thing, and so I'm just really grateful to be here and to be a part of it.